Welcome, I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen. Today we'll be making stuffed shells with meat sauce. If you're new to my channel, I will say welcome and I hope you come back and visit with us next week and you learn something during the process. So let's get started. Now, these are the ingredients we're going to use. We need jumbo shells. We need an Italian style cheese, a yellow onion. This is a Vidalia, my favorite. They go out of season in December, so stock up. We're gonna use a little bit of organic basil pesto. We're gonna put that in the ricotta cheese. We need an egg. We have ricotta cheese. We have Italian seasoning. We have garlic salt powder, not salt. We have onion powder, not salt. But I'm gonna have to get some, we're gonna put a teaspoon of salt in the meats. When I'm cooking the meat, you'll see me put a little bit of salt on the meat, just to season the meat. We also have taken our jumbo shells, we cooked them according to the direction of the box, al dente, and put them in cold water so it stops the cooking process until you can get everything else blended together. For the stuffed shells, we're gonna ground a half a pound of 85% content of ground beef and let it brown. And I'm gonna go and when it gets brown a little bit, some of the oil is gonna come out. I sprayed the pan with just a little bit of Pam because I didn't want to put any oil in it. So I'm gonna let that cook down. And while I'm doing that, we're gonna check on our ground beef and just sprinkle a little bit of salt on it, just to season it, and a little bit of pepper, just to season it. It's cooking good, starting to brown. I only use a half a pound because cheese can also be like a meat substitute as well, and we're gonna put quite 3 or 4 different types of cheeses in it. So once it brown, then I'm gonna put in, we have, always get marinara sauce for your stuffed shells. It just gives it more flavor and it tastes better than a pasta sauce. You can get any style that you choose, any flavor that you choose. It don't have to be the one that I chose, but as long as it's a marinara sauce. I got this one from Target. And I'm gonna put that in the ground beef. But before I do that, I'm gonna turn my skillet down low because I gotta chop up my onions. Take the skin off the onion. A little tough today. I'm gonna chop it. I'm gonna chop it finely, not elongated or not. It's gonna be almost like in cubes. I'm not gonna use a lot, but I'm just using enough for flavoring. Now we're gonna put our onions in the meat sauce and let them get nice and translucent. Stir it around. Let them cook down. Marinara sauce has a little sweetness to it. I normally, when I'm making anything with a red sauce, I always put a pinch of sugar in it to cut down on the acid because I do have a little acid problem with red sauces. But you don't necessarily have to do that. But the marinara sauce is a little bit sweeter than a regular pasta sauce. So I'm gonna let this cook for about another minute or so. And then I'm going to put in just pour over my marinara sauce. I'm gonna leave a little bit just to garnish. I have a little bit of pasta water I'm gonna put in here just to loosen that up a little bit. And I'm going to cover and let it cook down low for about 10 minutes. Or you don't necessarily have to do it. You can go ahead and start stuffing your shell, but I like to get the onions and everything translucent. I don't like that raw taste of onions. So I'm gonna put my top on my pasta, turn my oven to medium low, let it cook down. I preserved a little bit of pasta sauce to go in the bottom of my pan, just to garnish it and to pour over my stuffed shells a little bit. Okay, we're gonna check our meat sauce. Look at that. It has simmered down. The onions has gotten translucent. It smells good. This marinara sauce, I'm noticing, has a little bit of diced petite tomatoes in it. So that's an added bonus. So I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna bring it over where now we're getting ready to prep the stuffing for the shells. We have the ricotta cheese. I'm gonna take it and open it. I'm not gonna use all of the ricotta cheese. This is about a paint size. Okay, we're getting ready to stuff our shells. We got the ricotta cheese. I'm gonna take, that's 1 double tablespoon, 2, 3. We have a little bit left, so let me see, but just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and use it all just in case, because I have about 20 jumbo shells I need to stuff. Okay, with that, I get a small spoon. I'm gonna take my pesto sauce and I'm gonna place it in the ricotta cheese. This gives it a nice flavor and a nice little kick. I'm gonna take my egg and scramble it separately. I'm not gonna just put it in here and stir it around. I wanna make sure the egg is evenly cooperated and nice and scrambled so it'll go all through the sauce, the cheese sauce. I'm only using 1 egg. You can use 2, but I just use 1 for a small container of ricotta cheese. If I had a big one, I would use 2 eggs. So see how that just flows evenly in there? And now, I'm gonna take my seasoning. I have a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm gonna sprinkle in there. Garlic powder. Onion powder. And it's all a teaspoon. I'm gonna stir it around. Now, I'm gonna take some of this meat sauce. Once I get the egg in there, I wanna make sure it's nice and tempered in here so the egg don't cook when I put that meat in. I'm gonna take some of this meat and garnish the bottom of the pan. So my shell's gonna sit like a bed on top of the meat sauce. So when you scoop it up, you get a little meat and everything. So I'm going to take some of my Italian blend and I'm going to put a little bit in my ricotta mix. About a cupful. And I'm gonna save a little bit to garnish. I'm gonna stir it around. Now you can use mozzarella and Parmesan, but I use an Italian blend because it has 5 or more cheeses in it. It has mozzarella, a smoked provolone, Parmesan, Ricotta cheese. I hope I'm not tearing that word up, but it has about 4 cheeses in it. So that's why I use the Italian blend, and this is an Italian dish. We can make it soulful by putting some cheddar in there. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of my meat sauce and I'm gonna fold it in. So when I stuff, just gonna use it all, and then garnish a little bit on the top of it. Fold it in. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of, sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper. I did put a little salt and pepper in my meat, but I don't want it to be too bland. So I'm just gonna pinch a little bit more in there. This is the pepper. This is the salt. See? Okay, I got all that incorporated. Okay, I have my shells. I put them in, once I cooked them, al dente, according to the direction of the box. I set them in cold water so the cooking process could stop. So this is what they look like. You open them and you stuff the shell. Lay it flat. Let me get a paper towel because my hand's gonna get messy. We're gonna keep stuffing till we run out of shells. This is my granddaughter's favorite. I have another subscriber that loves it as well. So this is for you too. Okay, we got them all nice and stuffed. I got gooey hands. I had just enough sauce for every meat sauce. Okay, the shells are nicely stuffed. So the little bit of meat sauce, I don't throw away anything. I use it for everything. Just gonna drizzle a little bit over the pasta. Remember, I have a little bit of marinara sauce to go on there so they don't stick. But I sprayed the bottom of my pan. I didn't mention that, but I always spray the bottom of my pan so nothing would stick. Okay, I'm gonna just drizzle a little bit of marinara sauce over it. Almost look like lasagna, but a shorter version. You don't have to do all the layering like you do with lasagna. Now I'm gonna put more cheese on top, because we love cheese. And we're gonna bake it in the oven, covered, for 20 minutes. Then we're gonna uncover it for the latter 10 to 15 minutes so everything would caramelize and get a nice charred crust on it. Okay. Alrighty, everything looks good. We're getting ready to put it in the oven and let it cook covered. I'm gonna cover it for 20 minutes and let it get bubbly. Then we're gonna uncover it for the latter 10 minutes so everything will bake and gel together. We got the stuffed shells, almost said lasagna. We got the stuffed shells covered. I put just a bit of little holes in there so to breathe. And we're gonna bake it in the oven covered for 20 minutes. And then I'm gonna go look at it, take it out, the covering off, and let it bake for the latter 10 to 15 minutes uncovered. You didn't see me take the cover off the lasagna, but I've taken it off, and I'm letting it simmer and cook the latter 10 minutes. And this is what we got. It is ready to cool and be served. Don't that look wonderful? Don't that look wonderful? Okay, this is what we have. The stuffed shells are ready. I'm gonna take a taste. Okay, we're getting ready to do our taste test. Doesn't it look delicious? Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of it because it's nice and bubbly hot, and I don't want to burn my tongue and kill my taste buds. Delicious. Just delicious. If you like what you see, tell a friend, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Blessing, and this is Eva's Kitchen.